at it, man. Let's see if we can get this to move regular. Cool. What's good? Good morning. Happy Saturday, y'all. Happy Saturday. Hope everybody doing well. Hope everybody had a good trading week. Yeah, man, we at it. What's up? Let's do a quick audio check. Can you guys hear me? Do a quick audio check before I get started. Just drop a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear me, or a yes. Try for 1. Let's see here. Do I trade for other people? Absolutely not. No. Thank you guys. All right, cool. So y'all can't hear me. Nah, I don't trade for other people. I think trading for other people is a dangerous game. I think it's a dangerous game. And on top of that, if like you're trying to make money from trading, I don't think you should have somebody else trade for you. Like, let's be honest. I really think like you should learn the skill yourself. And I know I say this a lot. If you come to my streams often, you know, I say this very often. You should definitely learn the skill yourself. You know what I mean? Like knowing how to be able to like look at a chart, be able to analyze a chart, being able to be confident in what you're looking at, understanding what you're looking at, and actually being able to take a trade. Those are like extremely valuable things to be able to do. Like, it's a skill set, right? Like, how many of you work a 9 to 5 right now? Let me know. Drop a me down below in the chat, right? You know, at your 9 to 5, depending on what you do, you probably have a particular skill set, which is why they pay you the amount of money that they pay you, right? And, you know, one of the things that I like to tell people is like, you know, communicating, you know, really well is a skill set. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know how to do that. A lot of people don't know how to trade. They may know how to look at a chart, but they don't know how to trade. So no, I don't trade for other people. I trade for myself. And then too, it's like, why would I trade for someone else when I have my own capital to do it for myself? You know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, top of the morning, y'all. Good morning. If you're just coming in, drop a good morning down below in the chat real quick. Let's go ahead and get started. So today, I'm gonna talk to you guys about how you guys can make your first $1,000 trading options, okay? I don't know if that's cool with y'all, but how you can make your first $1,000 trading options. I'm gonna be breaking it down in depth. It's very strategic. There's a particular math to it, so I'll kind of go over what size account you should be starting with, what platforms I use. I'm gonna just break the whole thing down. So that way, for all of you guys who are in here, you'll know how to do this week, and hopefully you're able to do it. All right. Good morning, Cash Out. What's good? What's up? Good morning, y'all. Good morning. All right, cool. So first off, let's talk about platforms that I use. How many of you are new to trading, and how many of you are already experienced? So if you're brand new to trading, drop a 1 in the chat. If you've already been trading and you've kind of been like losing money a little bit, but you're just kind of in there, right? Like you're a little experienced with it, right? You already have a brokerage and stuff like that. Drop a 2 in the chat if that's you. Okay, I'm gonna go over the platforms that I really like. For those of you who are new to me, my name is Tez. First name is Dantes. I go by Tez. I've been trading since late 2021, going into 2022. I lost $23,000 when I first got into it, and now I've made over $400,000 in profit. I show a lot of my progress. I've shown my accounts and things like that on these platforms. So if you ever questioned anything, you can feel free to go look at the streams and clips on my page so you guys can go check it out. But yeah, today I just want to give you guys some information. Hopefully you're able to take it and do your thing with it. All right. So let's talk about the platforms that I use. I'm going to go to a different chart really quick though. I'm just going to go to like Capital One. This is always like my go-to chart just to look at. All right. So let's talk about platforms. Okay. So what exactly do you need to start trading efficiently? Okay. Let's talk about some things that you need. Am I glitching at all, y'all? Am I glitching? Is my audio going out, or am I good? Let me know. Just drop a you're good down below if so. Before I start doing this, I would hate to start explaining all of this. Okay, cool. Perfect. Thanks, guys. I appreciate y'all. All right, so let's break down some of the platforms. All right. So number one, do you need a crazy setup, right? So for me personally, while you guys are watching me, like I have 3 monitors, right? You do not need 3 monitors. You don't need some crazy lavish lifestyle stuff and all this crazy stuff. Okay. I know YouTube, you know, that's why you got to be a little careful with YouTube because people are flaunting different things. When I first got started, I just used my cell phone. Now I will tell you like a big lesson that I learned, don't only use your cell phone. You need to have a computer and you need to have your cell phone. Okay. So even till this day with me having 3 different monitors, right? I watch the charts off of my monitors, off my computers, and I take the trades on my cell phone. I've been doing that since 2021. Okay. So you do not, let me put this in caps, need a crazy setup. Okay, you do not need a crazy setup to be able to do this. I'm gonna say this again. You do not need a crazy setup to start trading. Okay, ideally, okay, you just want to have a computer. So what type of computer do you need? You can use a MacBook, y'all. Right? You do not. Thank you, guys. I'll be typing real fast. Thank you. I appreciate that. Shout out to Kim. Good morning, Kim. How are you? Okay, you do not need a crazy setup. Okay, you do not need a crazy setup. So, MacBook. How many of you have a MacBook? You don't need an iMac, okay? You do not need an iMac. You do not need some crazy expensive computer. The only thing you're going to do with everything I'm going to show you today, my goal is to just show you how you can make over $1,000 day trading, right? I've done this who knows how many times at this point, but I've helped other people do it. Okay, and if you work a 9 to 5, it's very efficient and something you could do on the side of your 9 to 5. So that's what I plan on doing. But drop your what's it called? Drop what type of computer you have down below. Good morning, I'm good. Hope you have a great day. You as well. I appreciate that. Hope all is well with you. Okay, drop your computer down below. Man, I got an iPhone. It's okay. So look, the most cost efficient way. So let's talk about this too, because for people in here, if you don't have a computer, just drop I don't down below. So HPs are fine. MacBooks are good. Yes, you can use an iPad. My apologies. I forgot to put that. You can use an iPad. Now, at some point in time, you will want to upgrade your iPad at some point, but you don't need all of that. Okay, so if you do not have a computer, what is the most cost efficient way to get a computer at a very reasonable price, right? Yeah, you can use a PC. Yeah, you don't need a crazy setup. Like I said, you can use a PC. So mind you, as long as you have a computer, okay? 9-year-old MacBook. What's up, Joel? Good morning. Hope all is well. Yeah, you can use a gaming PC. Like one of my PCs is a gaming PC. But yeah, you guys don't need a crazy setup. So on Amazon, first off, so how do you get? So let me make another one. How do you get a computer? Cost efficient computer. Okay. So let's talk about this real quick. How do you get a cost efficient computer if you don't have one? Okay. Number one, you can either just buy a MacBook. Okay. So you can either go to Apple's website or you can go to Amazon and you can buy a MacBook. So let me actually look for y'all real quick. How much is a MacBook on Amazon? Now, the MacBook that you need, you can get a MacBook Air. Okay. You can get a MacBook Air. I think those are the cheapest ones. Am I right, y'all? Which MacBook? No, not a MacBook Pro. MacBook Air that's the smaller one, right? I think it's the smaller one. I think that's the smaller one, right? Yeah, the Air. Okay, so look, a MacBook Air right here on Amazon is about $850. Okay, so you can get this without Apple Care. It's about $850. Okay, so the Air is going to be a little bit smaller, but for trading, you don't need nothing crazy huge or anything like that. You don't need multiple monitors. You just need one. Okay, so if you work a 9 to 5, what I would suggest you to do is budget out the income that's coming in. Right? Budget out your income that is coming in. So if you work a 9 to 5 and you're making a certain amount of money, right? How long would it take for you if you took 10%, 15%, or 20% of your check, put it aside to go towards this? Okay. Now, if that's too much, okay, then you could just go for an iPad. So let's look at it. So an iPad. So an iPad Air right here is $489. So this is fine as well. Okay. iPad Air. Do y'all see this? Drop a yes real quick if y'all can see this. Right. iPad Air is, let me see, $489. Okay. $489. You don't need nothing crazy. Okay. So buy a MacBook or buy an iPad Air. Okay. One of the two. Real quick. Hold on. Let me log in on here so I can make sure I'm blocking the bots that be in here real quick. I know it's Saturday morning, so let me see. Okay, there we go. All right, so good. All right, let me go ahead and block that guy. Let's get him out of there. God is working on me today, so we ain't gonna let the trolls get to us. Okay, cool. So yes, you can use a Windows computer as well. You can use a Windows computer. All right, so you can either A, buy a MacBook, B, go buy a iPad Air. my gosh, I cannot type. Okay, buy an iPad Air. That is all you really need. Okay. Number two, once you get these out of the way, okay, let's say you get those out of the way. Let's say you got your MacBook, you got your computer. You know, you can get any laptop, you can get any computer. It does not matter. Get something that's cost efficient for you, right? The second thing you're gonna need is Tradingview, okay? So this is an application that you download, okay? So you can go to tradingview.com, okay? You can go to tradingview.com and you can go ahead and grab Tradingview. Have you ever heard of Tradingview? If you've never heard of Tradingview, drop a 2 in the chat if you've never heard of it. If you have heard of Tradingview and you're actively using it right now, drop a 1 in the chat for me. Okay. Okay, cool. So a lot of you have not heard of Tradingview, okay? So what Tradingview is this platform right here. So I know y'all probably be streaming and stuff like that, or you see, not streaming, you see other people streams and stuff and they be on these charts, right? This is Tradingview. This is where you can come on, you can look at the different candlesticks and all of that good stuff. This is where you're gonna go to get all of that access, okay? So you need to go download Tradingview. Now, which subscription do you need? You just need the basic, right? The beginner's plan. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's just the basic plan. And the basic plan, I think, is all of like maybe $12 a month. I think the basic plan is $12 a month. I can't remember. But I know it's less than $20 a month. I know that for a fact. Okay. So am I good to move on from this? Drop a 1 in the chat if I'm good to move on from this. Okay. $12.95. Okay, cool. Perfect. Thank you, Kim. Yeah, I know it's less than 20 bucks. No, it's less than 20 bucks. Yeah, I'm going to go over that plan as well. Okay, cool. So when you're on Tradingview, this is absolutely vital, okay? I don't know why people don't talk about this, but you need real-time data, okay? You need real-time data. So what is real-time data? There are packages that you have to buy on Tradingview to be able to get updates on the market actively as it's happening. So here's the problem. You might be a beginner, right? And you like, oh, I don't need a Tradingview subscription. Okay, when you go to the chart and you start trading, your chart is going to be 15 minutes, or I think it's 10 minutes behind what price is actually doing. Now, how many of you would agree that's a pretty big problem? Just comment me down below if you would agree with me on that. That's a pretty extreme problem, right? Because if you don't have real-time data, if the market isn't updating actively, you might take a trade and you might be right, but you're 10 minutes off. So now you're extremely cooked. And now a lot of y'all, right, especially if you're newer, you might actually be trading well. You're just behind. So if you've Tradingview real-time data packages. Okay, I'm going to show y'all right now which packages you need. I actually don't know why people don't talk about this more, especially when, I don't know. I know a lot of y'all probably join other traders groups and stuff like that. Do they not talk about this stuff? I've had a couple people come from my Discord, come from other Discords to join mine. And one of the things that they said is like, people don't talk about this. I don't understand why you would not tell people this, but who knows? So look, this, where is it at? All right. So you need this package, not this one. Hold on one second. Let me see. I think it is this one. Okay, yeah, no, it's this one. So this is the package that you need, okay? This is the package that you need. You can just screenshot this, okay? You can screenshot this. Feel free to just screenshot it right now. I'm just gonna highlight it so when you screenshot it, you'll see exactly which one you need, okay? You need the US stock market bundle, okay? This is $9.95 a month, okay? It's 10 bucks a month. You pay for countless other things that are more than $10 a month. You pay for Netflix. Netflix ain't been paying you no money. You pay parking fees when you go park with your job, right? You paying for lunch, right? Obviously, it's feeding you, but it ain't making you no more money, right? It's keeping you alive, but still not doing much, right? You pay for Hulu. You pay for Disney Plus. You pay for your kids to get Robux, right? You pay for everything else. But then when I come on here, and you may not know me too well, but when I come on here and I tell you, hey, go put money towards something that can make you more money, I sound like a scammer. And what I've learned about scamming is that scamming, obviously there's people who are scammers in real life, right? There are those individuals, right? However, scams also stands for still confused about money. And the only way you're going to make more money is by spending money. How many of you can agree with me? You're not going to start a business and just magically make money in a business without putting money in. Is everyone on the same page as me right now? I know you want to get away with doing everything free. I get it. I used to be in that same way of thinking until I realized that was the same way. That was the same thing that kept me where I was. Until I start getting around people who spent more money, and then I realized, damn, it takes money to actually make money. Okay? And this is a very powerful lesson that you're going to have to learn. Do you have classes? I have a Discord group, but it's currently closed. So I'm not actually here to sell y'all on my Discord group. I like getting on here on Saturdays. I know a lot of y'all be just waking up. It's moody. Moody. What am I talking about? It's gloomy out in Atlanta, Georgia right now. So I just wanted to jump on here and maybe help some people. You know what I mean? Hopefully this insight can help a few people. But no, I'm not. My group is closed. I'm not here to sell you on my group. So even if you wanted to pay me, unfortunately, I'm not accepting your money right now. I would rather earn your trust and at least give you some information for free first before I offer you anything. So. But let's move on. Okay, so real-time data. You need the U.S. stock market bundle. U.S. stock bundle. I don't care what. Yeah, I am fasting. I'm fasting for Ramadan, so I'm on day 4 right now. Day 4. So look, you need the U.S. stock market bundle. Okay, type that down below. U.S. stock bundle. Type that down below in the chat just to make sure you got it. You can screenshot all of this as I go as well. Okay. Now. Next up is your brokerage. This is very, 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 very important, okay? This is very, very, very important. So let's talk about brokerages, okay? Let's talk about brokerages. So how many of you have a brokerage right now? If you do, comment your brokerage down below, which one you trade on right now. I'll give a quick explanation of what I'm fasting. So just because most people in here are focused on trading, they don't really want to hear me go off the rail. But I'm fasting, obviously, for Ramadan, next 30 days. No food, no water, from sun up till sunset. So for me, I wake up at around 6 a.m. I eat, drink as much water as I can. And then from about 7:30, about 7:15 a.m. all the way up until about 6:40 p.m., I don't eat, I don't drink, and I still do my day-to-day life. Working out, operating, running my business, being a dad. I still do all of these things. So yes, that is what I am doing. Yeah, no water, no gum, no nothing. So like right now I'm fasting, so it's allowing me to stay sharp. Okay, so we got Top Step, we got Robinhood, we got Webull, Robinhood, Webull, FX Pro. Okay. Trade Locker, Charles Schwab. Okay, good. Tradeovate, Fidelity. Okay, perfect. So a lot of you guys already have brokerages, so I can move on from this. So which are the top brokerages for options trading? For me personally, I'm gonna say Webull. Okay, this is my go-to. This is just a personal preference. A lot of my members in my Discord, they also use Robinhood. These are going to be the most beginner-friendly platforms to use. So if you are trying to get into options trading, which is what I do primarily, I'll give you guys a reason why I do options trading over futures as well, just so you can understand the difference between the two. I think both of them are amazing. It just comes down to your personality and which one you like more. Okay. But Webull or Robinhood are going to be your go-to. You can download these. Now look, listen. This is how the operation is going to go. Okay. This is how the operation is going to go. Thank you for doing this. No problem, Austin. I appreciate you pulling up. What's going on, Michelle? I love options. Hey, that's what I like to hear. This is how your operations is going to go. You're going to have your computer have Tradingview up. Okay. Your computer is going to have Tradingview, which is the charts, which is what I'm looking at right now. Right. I'm just over here typing for y'all right now. Okay. So your computer is going to have Tradingview. Your cell phone is going to have Webull or Robinhood, whatever brokerage. That's how you're going to trade. You're going to watch the market. You're going to watch the candles, whatever system or strategy that you trade. You're going to look for your opportunity in the market. Okay. And then when you see an entry for your trade based off of your system, based off of the strategy that you trade. So, there's a ton of strategies out there. There's support and resistance. I know there's supply and demand. What's his name? I know Trades by Side. He's been teaching ICC. You know what I mean? There's ICT, right? There's a lot of different strategies out there. I don't never shade anyone's strategy. I trade the Strat, which is the numbers on my candlestick. And I think if you've came to my stream before, you understand why I trade it. It makes a lot of sense. If you guys stick around and if you want me to, I can teach it to you guys for free. I just like putting people onto it because it changed my life personally. I came from doing support and resistance. Then I went to supply and demand. And then I was learning about ICT. I was learning about all these other strategies. And then I landed on the strat. And yeah, so I'll teach you guys the strat as well if you guys want. Just drop a yes in the chat if you want that. All right. So we got the computer trading view. All right. Real-time data on Tradingview. You need the US stock bundle. Okay. And then number 4, you need a brokerage. Okay. You need a brokerage. You need to do Webull or Robinhood. Okay. Webull or Robinhood. Now I will tell you, on Webull you got to pay, what is it, $3 a month? I think Webull is $3 a month for real-time data for options, which is like making sure that your data and everything is updated for the options side of things. All right, up early today, brother. Yo, what's going on, Joe? Top of the morning, bro. Hope all is well. Okay, drop a 1 in the chat if I'm good to move on from this. If I am good to move on from this, let's drop a 1 in the chat. Thank you guys for the follows. It really means a lot. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, if you may not know me too well, my name is Tez. So hello. Hope I get to know you a little bit more as well as we go through these streams. I stream not super often, but I stream fairly often. I've been trading since 2021. I've been long-term investing since 2020. I am a dad of two daughters, 2 girls, Amina and Naila. And yeah, most people know me for clothing. I elevated out of the clothing space. Took all that money and put it in the stock market, and years later, here I am. I make content on YouTube, so if you want more free information, you can always check out my YouTube. I have a Discord group. It's called TSA. It's not open right now. I would love to have you, but I'm not accepting your money right now. So I hope that you just accept some of this free information, and with the hopes of you learning something. And then maybe next week you can maybe take your first trade, and you can come back. You can say, "Yo, Tez, I took my first trade today. I'm super excited, man. Something. You know what I mean? That's the goal." All right. So now that we got these out the way, computer, Tradingview, real-time data, brokerage, okay, you got these out of the way. Next, you're going to need a strategy, okay? You're going to need a strategy. Let me see, am I missing anything? For all my traders, am I missing anything? I think this is a basic foundation setup right here. I'm pretty sure this is everything. Let me think. Okay, let's talk about budget. I'm not missing anything right now. For my traders, am I missing? What's going on, Key? I'm good. Okay, yeah. I'm trying to make sure because we got a lot of people in here who might be a little bit newer. Thank you guys for all the gifteds as well. That means a lot. Thank you, King. I appreciate that, man. Okay, so let's talk about budget. Now, on the contrary of what most people say, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Is it okay if I be honest? I'm not here to sell you on my group or anything like that. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think some of you would probably appreciate the honesty without someone trying to sell you constantly. Now, at some point, I will sell you something. I will tell you that right now. But yeah, for right now, is it okay if I just be honest with you? Okay. So when it comes to your budget, you don't need to have thousands of dollars in the beginning. I do not recommend starting with more than 5,000 when you're first starting. I do not recommend it, right? What happens is in the beginning, you're still learning a lot about position sizing. So what position sizing is, how much money you should put in on a trade. What is the best risk management? What strategy do you want to use, right? These are very important things that you're going to have to learn by losing money, unfortunately. Do not start with more than 5,000, okay? I'm going to say this again. Can y'all just type it down below for me real quick? Do not start with more than 5,000. Do not start with more than 5,000. So we're going to put some don'ts real quick. We're going to put some don'ts. Start with 5,000. Do not. Okay. All right. You know what? Actually, let's do it like this. I'm going to do it like this, just in case for newer people who come into the stream and they're like, yo, what is going on? Do not start with 5K plus. Okay. Do not start with more than 5,000. I'm going to delete this right here. Am I good to delete this, y'all? Drop a yes real quick if I'm good to delete this. Okay. All right, cool. I'm going to delete this now. I'm pretty sure we all know how to get a computer. We got some very smart individuals in here, so I'm pretty sure we all know how to get a computer. All right. Do not start with more than 5,000, right? Next, okay? Next. Do not start with 5,000, number one. Number two, now let me talk about ideal range that you should start with, right? Ideally, you can start with $500 to, I would say, $2,500. These are great starting points. Really, I could put 3,000, right? Because there's going to be different individuals in here who can work and start with different amounts of capital, right? So ideally, you want to start between $500 to $3,000. So if you're in here and you're like, Tez, how much do I need to start with? You can start with $500. You can start with $250 if you wanted to. You can start with $1,000. You can start with more than $4,000 if you want to. That is up to you. But what I have learned over a period of time is that you become reckless when you have a bigger amount of capital that you're starting with. If you can't grow a small account, you're not going to be able to grow a bigger account. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought this is why I lost 23,000 when I first got into day trading. It's because I thought with the more money I had, the more money I could make from it. And that is true. The more money you have, the more money you can make. That is 100% true. But in trading, in the beginning, when you are first starting, the more money you have, the more dangerous it is. The reason I say this is because you'll look at something and you'll be like, oh my God, but if I get in right now, and then it goes to this point, I can make $6,000 today. You know what? Let me just put up 5,000, because if I make 6,000 a day, that might be able to pay for my house. That might be able to pay for, X, Y, and Z. How many of you have thought like that before? It's something called greed. So if you're newer to trading, there's a lot of emotions that you're going to get exposed to. Okay. And shout out to all my traders. I appreciate all the support in the chat. Y'all talking about he's spitting, talk family. I appreciate y'all. That means a lot, man. I appreciate y'all even showing up, especially if you've already been trading. You don't even have to be here, but to have you in here, it really means a lot. But I'm going to be honest with you, right? When you're in trading, there's no easy way to say this. So I'm going to just be blunt. I feel like a lot of you would probably appreciate it if I was just blunt anyways, but I'm going to be blunt. Good morning, Sam. Trading is going to expose you. Trading is going to expose you. It's not optional. It's going to. And I'm not saying this in a negative way. I'm just saying it in a way where all of the things that you have not learned about yourself yet, you will learn it through trading. You won't have a choice. You will not have a choice. You will get exposed. Now, what do I mean by getting exposed? Your relationship with money will get exposed throughout trading, throughout your trading journey. Whether you're fearful, whether you're fearful with money or whether you're greedy with money, that's going to get exposed while you're trading. How you deal with anxiousness, right? How you deal with those emotions, how you actually go about dealing with them is going to get exposed while you're trading. Because a lot of the times, trading is a very different, granted, a lot of people want to get into trading because it's literally the best opportunity in the world. I don't need great credit. I don't need a bunch of money to start. I don't need to start a business. I don't have to run ads. I don't have to market. I don't got to deal with customer service. I don't got to talk to nobody. I don't got to be liked. I don't have to care what I look like when I do it, right? These 9 factors, 10, I don't have to be away from my family. So these 10 factors is the reason that I would probably guess 99% of you are in here and are wanting to learn it. But the thing that you need to understand is that in the beginning processes, you're going to get exposed in that first 2 years. And I'm saying 2 years because how many of y'all have heard people, traders, and they be like, it took me 5 years to become profitable. It took me 3 years to become profitable. How many of you have heard that before? Drop a 1 in the chat if you've heard that. It took me 7 years to become profitable. Now, does it take that long to become profitable? In certain instances, I don't know. It depends on the individual. Okay. But let me tell you the honest reason why they're saying that, because I am one of those individuals. It took me 4.5 years before I became profitable. Before I started really actually being able to make money. And the reason that's the case isn't because of you, right? I won't even say it like that. The reason that is the case is because you have not learned how to deal with your emotions. You can have a strategy, and the strategy can work, but you can go against your strategy because of your emotions, because of what you feel like, what you think could happen. But that's not a part of your strategy. So in TSA, right? I'm going to break this down. TSA, this is a list of high probability setups that we use, right? I'm not gonna actually show this because this is only for my members. I have back tested these over the last 3 years, and I know the exact win rate, and we trade them actively, and this is what leads to a lot of our members' wins, right? But you need a strategy. The problem is you can get a strategy. You can learn that from YouTube, right? A lot of y'all probably came from other people or came from learning from people on YouTube. You can have a strategy, but then when it comes to you looking at the chart and you being by yourself and it's time to click buy or it's time to click sell, that emotion that comes in, right? What you're doing, it changes sometimes because of what you go through. You might be mad at your wife or your boyfriend in the morning, right? And that might transcend into your trading. And a lot of people don't never think about this because when you're newer, you don't know nothing about this. But I promise you, you will get exposed. You will get exposed. Corey, what's good, bro? Hope all is well, brother. You will get exposed in this game. So how do you get around this? You don't. You have to learn. And, you know, a lot of people try to get into this and they're like, how do I save as much money as possible? I'm going to be honest with you. Stop trying to come into everything trying to just save. Saving is only going to get you so far. I'm going to be honest with you. Saving is only going to get you so far. You have to be willing to invest. And your lessons that you're going to learn in the market, okay, that's your investment. It's called market tuition. Everyone has paid market tuition, and you're not going to be that one oddball that doesn't pay market tuition. I'm going to be honest with you. Even if you get lucky, even if you get really good in the beginning, you're still going to have a lot of losses. You're going to have losses that make up more than your wins. And then you're going to get to the point over time where you feel like quitting and you start beating yourself up. You're going to go through everything. Every trader goes through the same exact cycle. It might be different how it looks, but all of us go through the same thing. Okay? So does everyone understand me? Is everyone on the same page as me? Comment track down below if you're tracking me. If everything is just making sense now. Okay? Comment track down below. No, not trap, track. Tracking, like I'm tracking you. There we go. Thank you. Okay. Do not start with this. All right. So I'm going to move on from this now. Okay. I'm going to move on from this. Let's go ahead and talk about strategy. I'm going to move this up a little bit over here. All right. Strategy. So what strategy do you start with? I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there, and a lot of you are learning from different individuals, right? I'm a person who trades a particular type of way. I'm not going to sell you on my strategy. I'm going to tell you the thing that I wish somebody would have told me in the beginning, and that's you're going to have to find, number one, a person that makes sense to you, like the way they teach, it resonates with you. That's the first thing, because you're going to have to learn. Right? Like there's some people in the chat like, you don't need to sit in this stream. You just need to go trade. How do you even know what you're looking at if you don't go learn? So the first thing that I suggest is find somebody that really resonates with you. I'm not selling you on me. I love you to death, but I want what's best for you. And even if that's not me, that's perfectly fine too. So what I say, if you're a little bit newer, that you might like the way that I teach, absolutely. I think I teach things fairly well, and I have a very extensive track record to be able to back it. But I might not be the best for you. I don't know, right? I don't know. You can stick around. You can hit the follow button, and we can find out, right? I would love to find out with you, but I don't know. So I'm going to be honest with you, right? I'm going to be frank. Number one, you have to find somebody who resonates with you. The way that they teach has to be something that you can understand. You should not be learning from a person who explains things in a way where it does not make sense. Like you're just sitting there and you're watching the video, and you're like, oh my God, bro, like I just don't get what you're saying. How many of you have learned from people like that? I've had teachers like that in high school where I'm sitting there learning. I'm just like, everything they're saying is going from one ear out the other. But then there's that one teacher where everything just clicks. For some reason, you just get the best grades in a class because the way they explain it is a way where it just makes sense. It makes sense. Y'all tracking me? Does that make sense? So there's countless strategies out there, right? I'm going to tell you, you're going to have to start looking at a good amount of them, right? Now, if you want to cut straight to the chase and you say, hey, I do want to learn from you, I'll teach you my strategy on this live, okay? I'll teach you my strategy on this live, and we can see if it makes sense for you. But if it doesn't, that's cool too, okay? That's cool too. I'll just like to be honest with people because there's a lot of other people. There's TJR, there's Aristotle, there's Trades by Sai, you know what I'm saying? There's Wall Street Trapper. There is you know, Strat, what's her name? Sarah Strat Sniper. There's a lot of people. I give props to all of them. Chris Sane, right? FX Alex, they all trade. You know, FX Alex, she trades Head and Shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's his name? What's the one guy with the dreads? On YouTube. Damn, I can't remember. I think his name is there's Juvier. I'm real good friends with Juvier as well. Sierra, she has her own strategy that she trades. Right? Like I'm fairly cool with a lot of these individuals. Some of them, Doyle, that's his name. Doyle, he trades supply and demand. Right? There's a lot of people. You know, Lawrence. There's a lot of people who trade different strategies. Right? You're gonna have to find the person that makes sense to you. Okay. Enough of the rant. Okay. So what type of strategies are out there? Right? So you got support and resistance. There's elite options as well. He's a great one. Right? You got ICC. Right? You got supply and demand. Right? Let me move this up a little bit. There's let me see, what else is there? There's ICT. There's the Strat. And there's SMC. There's more strategies, right? There's the orb, right? You can literally just trade just the orb if you wanted to. Right? There's a ton of different strategies, right? There's trend lines. You know, I know what's her name? Tori trades. She trades trend lines. There's so many strategies out there. How many of you feel a little confused? How many of you feel like, like that may have turned you off a little bit? Be honest. Just comment me down below if it did. And, you know, because I can understand, like me explaining all of this and you're a little bit newer, you're like, oh my God, bro, there's so much learning I got to do. Like, there's so much stuff that I have to go after. I'm not really looking to do all that work. I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to take work for you to get to where you want to get to. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I'm not one of those people on here who get on social media and try to make it seem like it's not what it is. It is that. You're going to have to go through a process. And, you're going to have to learn how to enjoy the process. Like for me, when you go after something, you got to learn how to obsess. That's the only way you're going to make it in trading. You have to obsess. You have to obsess over the process. And what do I mean by the process? You have to obsess over getting the information. You have to obsess over the L's that you take and journaling them. You have to obsess over learning new strategies when you feel like the one that you're trading does not make sense to you, right? There's a lot of things that you're going to have to overcome. I'm not the person to tell you that everything's going to be easy. I'm the person to just be honest with you. And again, my Discord is closed, so I'm not even here to sell you on my Discord either. So let's make sure that is the upfront thing, okay? So, do we got this down? Can I move on from this? The strategy that I'm going to break down to you is going to be the Strat, okay? I'm going to break down like my system, how I trade, and then we can see if it makes sense for you. Do you do one-on-ones? I do not do one-on-ones. I only work within my Discord because people dedicate their time and energy to me, so I dedicate my all to them. So those are the only individuals that I work with who are in my Discord, okay? Drop a 1 in the chat if I can move on from this and I can start breaking down my strategy in particular. How can a Discord be closed? Because we are a premium Discord. We're not like every other Discord where you just pay at any time and you can just join it. Like we have a whole process that you have to go through before you can join my Discord. And it's that way because we only want to work with quality people. So we don't just accept any type of person. We're looking for a certain type of person. Okay. All right, cool. Let's move on. Boom. You should have what's it called? Screenshot of that. If you didn't have a chance, you probably cooked, but it's all good because we're about to break some more important stuff down. Okay. So real quick, let me kind of gauge the audience real quick because we got 760 people in here. Real quick, my name is Tez. If you don't know who I am, it's an honor to have you. I appreciate you pulling up to the stream. I've been trading since 2021. I've been long-term investing since 2020. I am a stronger long-term investor. I will always tell you that long-term investing is the better option, 100%. But I do think that day trading will help a lot of people on the side of their 9 to 5 be able to generate income that will help pay for your bills, that will help pay for kids' lunch, things like that. For me personally, my Discord called TSA, currently closed. Majority, like 99% of our members are 9 to 5 workers and they all have kids. So I show them how they can make additional income on the side of their 9 to 5 to be able to help pay for some of the, miscellaneous things, that they have to pay for. Okay. This looks confusing. Don't worry about this right now. You're not there yet, yo. You guys are not there yet. I'm going to teach you guys the basics. I'm going to turn off all indicators. Okay. I'm at 50,000 likes. I'll give you guys my indicators, and then I'll give you guys a breakdown of the indicators. Okay. Okay. So real quick, let's kind of gauge the chat real quick. Drop a 1 in the chat if you're new to charts and you don't really know how to read a chart or a candlestick. If you are a little bit more experienced, but you're still learning a strategy. Oh my God, that's a lot of people. Okay. Damn. Well, that kind of just gave it away right there. So for my people in here who are a little bit more experienced, I'm going to break this down to the newer individuals in here just really quick. I'm going to make it really simple for them to understand, and then I can move on to a little bit more advanced stuff. My goal within this stream is to break everything down. So like, just bear with me. It's going to take a little bit of time. Obviously, you know, you could watch a movie, you could do all that stuff, but right now you're getting information that I feel like could pay you. So just bear with me. Okay. Just bear with me. So I'm going to break this down in the simplest way possible. And this is going to be a good way for us to understand if you like the way that I teach or not. Right. If I'm a type of person that you want to learn more from, we will find out based off the way that I teach you right now. So instead of you paying me to try to figure it out, I'm going to give it to you for free. And then you can have the option of saying, hey, I want to learn more or not. Okay. So let's talk about candlesticks. Okay. I'm going to make this quick. I'm going to make this easy. I'm going to make this something that everyone can understand. Okay. So there are two parts to a candlestick. Let's take a look at this candlestick. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can see this candle right here. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can see this candle right there. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my handy dandy tool. I'm going to attach it to the top of this candle and the bottom of this candle right here. Okay. So first off, let's explain this in the simplest form humanly possible. Okay. Let's explain this in the simplest form humanly possible. There are two parts to a candlestick that you need to understand. You have the body, which is the thicker part of the candlestick. This is the body. Then you have what's called wicks. So these long things at the bottom and at the top, right, are called wicks. This is what makes up a candlestick. Okay. So when you're reading a chart and you're looking at what price is doing, it's going to represent itself, or it's going to paint a picture in the form of a candlestick. So what exactly is a candlestick? A candlestick is basically price doing something for a certain period of time. So what I want you to understand is that there's two parties when you're trading. Actually 3, but I don't think most people talk about this. Okay. There's 3 different people when you're looking at a chart. Now, what do I mean by that? There's buyers who are buying the price up. So they are also known as bulls. So think of a bull, right? Their horns face up. Okay. Their horns face up. So if someone says I'm bullish, they're buying. They are betting that it's going to go up. Okay. The other side are going to be sellers. Okay. The sellers are going to be bearish. Think of a bear. When a bear is walking, it's walking on its hands and its feet. Okay. So their hands are pointing down. So as a seller, you are betting that it goes down. You are pushing the stock down. You are pushing price down. You are bearish. So you got bulls versus bears. You got buyers versus sellers. Y'all still with me? Now, there's a third party that no one talks about. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's a little irrelevant for some people. But the way that I trade, it's very important. Okay. And I'm going to hopefully make it make sense for you as well. But there are the people on the sidelines who are about to make a decision, who have not went in either direction. And they might just be waiting for a certain signal. They might be waiting for their strategy. They may be waiting for something particular for them to choose whether or not they're going to go bullish or bearish. Okay. Making sense, right? I'm not doing too bad. I know it's early in the morning. You know, I know it's Saturday early in the morning. You just came from kicking it last night. Don Julio done got you, right? But it's all good because right now you learning. So drink some water, get you some electrolytes, you'll be all right. And if you were on your stuff last night, you know what I'm saying? And you ain't do no kicking it, well, I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of you. So let me explain something else now, okay? I do little jokesies here and there. So let's, throw them in a little sprinkle, but not too much now, okay? Because y'all got to learn. Let's talk about something else now, okay? So We understand that there are buyers and sellers. Drop a 1 in the chat if all of that made sense. I didn't lose too many of you guys. So what you've already learned in the last 3 minutes, okay? I'm going to try to compact all of this in the next hour or so. So just stick with me. Hit the follow button if you haven't already. All the way at the top of the screen, there's a follow button. You can tap that if you're liking the way that I teach. You can learn a lot more from my videos as well that I put out for free, okay? So we understand that there are buyers versus sellers. They're always battling. When you're looking at a candlestick, think of it as a battle. Think of it as a war. There's always one party versus the other, okay? Always. We understand that there's the wicks and there's the body of a candlestick. These are the wicks. This is the body. I'm going to explain all of this as well so you can understand what both of them are, okay? But then, okay, there's the third party where they're not doing anything yet. They're waiting. And these people are going to make an impact on the chart. They're going to make an impact at some point in time when they get into the trade. They're going to choose whether or not they're going to go buyer or seller. But right now, they're sitting on the sidelines. Now, the next thing that you need to understand, okay? The reason I tell you don't start with a bunch of money is because the money that you are putting into the market isn't going to move the market, number one. And number two, I don't teach you how to like make a lot of money fast. I don't teach that. That's not something that I do. I show you how to compound because that's something that has worked for me. Anytime you come to any of my streams or watch any videos from me, I'm teaching you things that have worked for me. Whether I learned it from someone else and I bought the information from someone else, or I learned it through my own lessons and losing money myself, or I made money and I learned the lesson, right? I'm going to always tell you things that are working for me personally. Whether or not it works for you 100% of the time, I don't know. Okay. Now, there are retail traders. So what is a retail trader? A retail trader is someone who's not going to be able to move the market. Okay. So think of it like this. If you are trading with less than $2 million, you are considered a retail trader. You are considered a retail trader. So how many of you have watched The Wolf of Wall Street? Or you've watched some form of there's another movie called Margin Call. And it was talking about, margin and things like that. But it was on Netflix. How many of you have watched Wolf of Wall Street or some type of stock movie? So Wall Street is one of the prime areas in the US stock market, right? Or the prime places that a lot of these heavy investors and traders are at, right? So Wall Street, oh my God, we just hit 1,000 people in this stream. That is insane. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for providing me with this opportunity. I really do appreciate it. That is crazy. This is the most amount of people I've ever had in my stream. 1,000 people is insane. Imagine 1,000 people in front of you. Yeah, there's Dumb Money. If you've never watched Dumb Money, you can watch Dumb Money. Those are great movies. If you like to watch movies about money and stuff like me, you can watch Dumb Money. You can watch those. Okay. Billions is another good one. Yeah, y'all are on y'all stuff. Y'all know. Okay. So there are retail traders. Okay. Retail traders are people who are trading with less than $2 million. You're not moving the market. I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to put in $5,000 on a trade and it's not going to make not a cent move on the candlestick, which is why you need to start with a lower amount of capital and learn how to build it up. Because why? You're playing against whales. That's the other side. So we are retail traders. All 1,100 of us, maybe there's some people in here who trade on Wall Street or something like that, but I don't know, right? But for the most part, we are all retail traders. We are retail traders. We're not whales. The whales are who we are going against. The whales, right, are called institutional traders. Sounds like a big word. It's just a fancy word for people who playing with real money. They're the whales in the market. So when you see a really big candlestick, right? Let's talk about this candlestick right here that we're looking at. Retail traders, we may have a 2% makeup of this candle. What do I mean by that? 98% of the movement that's happening in the market is from the whales. It's from institutions. So what is it exactly as an institutional trader? What would be like some examples, right? You got hedge funds. You have banks, right? You have investors, like private investors, right? And then you have traders who are just working with bigger capital. Okay, so there's other types of institutional traders as well, but these are the premise of it, right? Now, I want you to understand something about the market that I think you may not always remember and understand, but this is why you watching me right now is very important. When you are trading, in order for you to make money, somebody else has to lose money. Think about that now. In order for you to make money, somebody else in the United States has to lose their money for you to make money. So if I know this, guess who else knows this? Institutional traders, the whales. They also know this. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to manipulate the market. So here's a benefit, right? Here's a benefit of, you know, being an institutional trader. They get access to information before we do. They might hear from a person who works at who puts out articles and stuff before they get posted on CNBC. They might get the information first so they can jump into a position early. Right? A lot of institutional traders, they have access to each other. So they're talking to other people who have a lot of money to be able to operate. So they can talk about certain positions that we can't. Right? Isn't insider trading illegal? I mean, look at Nancy Pelosi. No allegations. Knock on wood. Right? I'm not saying she's doing that. You know, I'm not saying that. But you ever look at our government? How, you know, I don't even want to get into that. You know what I'm saying? But if you go look at our government, they're all finessing the system. Let's be honest. Barron Trump, your father is the president. And you telling me, let's be honest, he made $168 million in 24 hours after his dad placed a tweet that moved the market by 7% in a day. Come on, bro. Now, I'm not making no allegations or anything. I'm just being honest with you. We all know the system's rigged. I mean, I don't have to get on here and make it seem like we're not all very sophisticated. I truly believe that the vast majority of you are fairly sophisticated. And I'm pretty sure, regardless of your skin color, we all understand in some way, shape, or form, we are getting effed. But guess what? The only people who complain about the system are the people who don't know it, who don't know how to play within the system. So it is on you to learn this system, because if you don't learn it, your children probably are going to have to learn it on their own. And I don't know about you, but my goal throughout life is to learn every lesson so my children don't have to go learn it from the world, because the world is full of wolves. So when people ask me, why do you stream? Why do you teach? Why do you do all these things? Because I actually give a F about people. I actually care about people. Like, genuinely. I might not ever meet you, but all I know is that you might have one piece of information that might change your situation. And for me, that's enough. You telling me I get to get on stream on a Saturday morning with 1,100 people in here, and I can talk to other moms and dads? I know I can cuss, but I'm fasting. So I'm refraining. That's a part of my fast, is refraining from cursing. A lot of like really hardcore rap music and stuff like that. Like, I am trying to purify myself this month. So I'm choosing not to do those things. And yeah. All right, cool. So we all understand this, right? So now let's move on, because I know I just went off on a complete tangent. So we understand. Now think about it, right? You came into this stream and you didn't really know if I was going to be a person that you could learn from. Well, already so far you've learned what computer you should be getting, what subscription you need to have on Tradingview, how much money you should be starting with. You also learned the different types of strategies. You're also now learning about candlesticks, and then you're going to learn my strategy entirely. I'm going to give it to you right now, and then if you want to learn more, obviously I'll continue to teach you more. But it's only been 54 minutes. I feel like this is a fairly good use of your time, right? I don't know about y'all. I mean, I could just assume, but y'all can let me know down below, right? And the best thing about it is, like, my Discord is closed, so I'm not even asking you to pay me anything. Now, maybe later down the line, if you want to learn more, maybe I'll have an opportunity for you to learn more, but I'm not opening my Discord. But for right now, it's just free information. Isn't that really cool? Funny how the internet works. All right. So let's talk about this. All right. So right here, I'm going to start typing in these. Okay. Let's get back on track. So I'm going to type these out really quick, and then I'm going to explain them. So give me 1 second. Close. 1 second, guys. Let me type these out real quick, and then I'm gonna explain them. High, low. Whoops. Okay. So, can we all see this? I'm gonna place this one. Yeah, we can leave it like this. And then let me do this like this. Okay. Can we all see this now? Drop a 1 in the chat real quick. Drop a 1 in the chat real quick if we can see this. This is all making sense. All right, cool. So let's explain this, okay? Let's explain this in the simplest way possible. I've been explaining everything else pretty simple, so let's explain this. So we have the body of the candlestick, right? Or we have the entire candlestick, right? So remember, this is the body, this is the wicks. So what exactly are wicks? Because I think a lot of people sometimes get lost, and it's very easy. I want you to understand this. The bottom wick down here, this last little point of this wick, that is the lowest price that price has been, right? That is the lowest price that price has been. Or let's explain it a little bit easier. This is the lowest point that price got to. So the low of this candlestick is 204.85. That is the lowest point we got to on this candlestick. The opposite side is the high. This is the highest point price got to during this candlestick, which is 208.20. Okay? So those are the wicks. It's just the high and the low. Make sense? I haven't lost too many of y'all so far, right? There's just the high and it's just the low. Fairly simple, right? Now, this part, some people get confused on. I'm going to explain it in a way where you don't get confused on it. Okay? So let's just talk about it, okay? On a bullish candlestick, okay, when buyers are in control, okay, when buyers are in control, you know that buyers are in control based off of the color of this candlestick. So if it's a green candlestick, this is called a bullish candle. This candle right here is called a bullish candle. Buyers are clearly in control, okay? Now, there's a reason that it's green, though. The reason that this is a bullish candlestick, remember, buyers are in control, so they're buying it up. It's because the price opened at 205.21. This is where the candlestick opened at. And throughout this entire time of this candlestick, buyers and sellers were just battling. It got all the way as low as here, 204.85. And then the buyers stepped back in, and they pushed it all the way up to 208.20. And then the sellers stepped back in, and then the candle closed. Like, that battle just stopped. And it closed at 206.85. That is where the candle closed at. So this is why it's a bullish candlestick. Do we all see why or where we opened at the bottom and we closed higher than where we opened? I'm gonna say that one more time. The reason this is a bullish candlestick, the reason buyers are in control, is because the price opened at one price. It opened at 205.21, but it closed higher than where it opened at, which is right here at 206.85. Y'all tracking me? So think of it. You opened here, but you closed here. This is higher. Buyers are in control. These are buyers. It moved up. Right? Y'all tracking me? Drop a 1 in the chat real quick if y'all with me. Drop a 1 in the chat. I know this is fairly basic stuff, right? But for the most part, we have a lot of new people in here. So I need to make sure that they understand this before I get. You can't trade my strategy until you understand this. Okay? Good. Now, let's explain something that a lot of people forget to talk about. Okay? And that is, what exactly is a wick? What exactly is a wick? Well, a wick is something called a rejection. It is a rejection. So buyers were all the way up here, right? Buyers pushed price all the way up here. Hold on 1 second. Let me block this guy out of the chat. See you later. Enjoy your Saturday. Right? So buyers bought this all the way up and it got rejected, meaning that price got pushed all the way back down by sellers. Okay? So like wicks are just rejections. They are rejections. It's when price gets to a certain point and the other party steps back in and it pushes it back down. Okay? So now, guess what? You understand what a bullish candlestick is. Drop a yes in the chat if you now understand what a bullish candlestick is, right? It opened and closed higher. We opened at one price. We closed higher than where we opened. Very easy, right? Super easy. I don't know why people make it seem like trading is so difficult, right? Now, obviously, doing the act itself is not easy, but you know, for the most part, learning it. I tell people this all the time. I can teach you trading in less than a couple hours. Obviously you remembering it is completely up to you. If you have great memory, then obviously that's on you. Let's go to a different example. Okay, so let's look at this candlestick right here. Okay, this is a perfect example right here. So I'm gonna rewind this. So let's talk about bearish candlesticks. This is very, very important. Listen. Okay, listen. Okay, so we understand. Actually, let's use this one right here real quick, because this is going to be a better example overall because it still has wicks on it. All right, y'all can all see this, right? I'll put one in the chat if everybody can see this. Do you have a community? I do. It's currently closed right now. I am not here to sell y'all on my community. I'm just here to hopefully earn a follower or two. Hopefully earn a follower or two. And maybe some new people who might rock with me. If not, that's cool too, you know? So let's talk about a bearish candlestick. A bearish candlestick. How do I know this is bearish? It is red. Okay, this is a red candlestick. So watch this. The wicks are still the same, right? The wicks are still the same on the candlesticks. Y'all hearing me? The wicks are still the same on the candlesticks. This is the high. This is the low. Now, listen, this is I'm not going to lose you, right? I promise. I'm holding your hand through this process. Okay? The only difference between this and a bullish candlestick, the only difference between this and a green candlestick, the only difference between buyers and sellers being in control is this right here is the open of this candlestick. And the close is now at the bottom. That is the only difference between a bullish candlestick and a bearish candlestick. Y'all tracking me? Comment track down below if you're tracking me. Comment track down below if you're tracking me right now. Okay. Boom. Why is this a bearish candlestick? Because you opened at one price. You opened at 216.84. And then the sellers pushed it all the way down and it closed at 215.19. It closed lower than where it opened at. I'm going to explain that again. The reason that this is a bearish candlestick, the reason that sellers are in control is because it opened and closed at a lower price. So it opened here and it closed lower than where it opened at. Always remember that. It's based off the open and it's based off the close. When you're looking at a candlestick. Y'all tracking me? Yes, guys, I have a YouTube as well. I have a lot of free information on YouTube. All this stuff is explained on YouTube, by the way. I have videos explaining all of it in the same way as well. But obviously, learning live is a lot funner, in my opinion. Okay? And remember, guess what? When you have a wick, it's showing rejection. It's showing buyers are stepping back in at this price. Buyers did not like price being down here, so they stepped back in. Then it got cut off and it closes. Yes, you're explaining this way better than most. I appreciate that. What's your YouTube? Just my first and last name, Dante Zakram. Same as the TikTok. So if you just screenshot screenshot this whole thing, like right now, if you just screenshot the whole your phone right now or whatever you're watching this on, screenshot it. Then you can just go search my name on YouTube later. So this is a bearish candlestick. Sellers are in control during this candlestick. So sellers would have been up in this trade if they were in the trade. Yeah. Yes, I do talk about this on YouTube. Okay. So do we all understand candlesticks? Do we all understand candlesticks? Drop a yes real quick before I move on to the next thing, because this next part is where you ideally want to be looking for your trades. Do we all understand candlesticks? Let me know. Let's look at a certain ticker. What ticker do I want to look at? Let's look at maybe Robinhood. You know what? No, because this is going to confuse a lot of people. You know what? We can look at Eli Lilly. Nah, this is choppy. Somebody give me a ticker down below. Give me a ticker. Give me a ticker. We got so many futures traders in here. Give me some options tickers, guys. SPY, QQQ, no. Microsoft, no. I'm looking for something that doesn't have a gap down in it. Tesla, not really. Come on, y'all. Give me some better tickers. Give me some companies. You know what? Let's look at Shopify. Let's look at Shopify. There we go. All right, cool. Perfect. I'm going to delete all of this. Okay? Delete all of this. Damn, I could have looked at SoFi. Y'all, okay, now y'all want to give me the right tickers. Okay. Actually, no. Let's look at Palantir. Palantir is a way better example. I'm going to delete all those. Okay? Delete all this. So, let's move on to the next thing, right? Let's move on to the next thing. So now, we got a lot of the beginner stuff out of the way. Some of the beginner stuff, not all of it, right? For those my beginners in here, I'm going to explain even more, okay? HIMS is getting smoked. It's crazy that y'all said that. HIMS is getting cooked, okay? So, let's explain this, okay? Let's explain this. Okay. There's something called market structure. There's something called market structure. When you are trading, have y'all ever heard trade with the trend or trade the trend? Drop a 1 in the chat if you've heard trade the trend. If you've never heard that before, drop a 2 in the chat. If you've never heard of trade the trend, drop a 2 in the chat. If you have heard of it, drop a 1. Chat is moving so fast. Oh my God. Okay, perfect. So let's talk about this. What does it mean to trade the trend? Okay, what does it mean to trade the trend, right? If the market is going down, right? If it's going down in a diagonal way, okay, you want to trade with it in the direction that it's going in. You want to look for opportunities that are agreeing with the trend, right? If something is going up, right, it's in an uptrend. You want to trade the direction it's going in. The trend is your friend. Trade the trend. Okay? So what exactly does that mean? How do I know what type of trend something is in? So I am a day trader. My first time frame that I always look at is going to be the daily time frame. How do I identify the trend though? Well, it's sometimes pretty easy. It's sometimes as easy as just looking at a chart and being able to mark out what direction the overall chart is going in. So from here all the way down here, if I were to just draw this out like this, and then I took another line and I say I grabbed it from here to here, what direction is this going in, y'all? What direction is this going in? I promise if it seems complicated, I'm gonna get to the point in very, very short period of time, but just I want to make sure that people understand this. What direction is this going in? Exactly. So this is called a downtrend. What makes this a downtrend? Well, look at this. Let's look within these two lines. You have a high, right? So this is a high point. Price bounced up. This is a high. Okay. If this is a high, this means this is a low. So what makes this a downtrend? The reason this is a downtrend is because this high relative to this high is lower. So let me explain this in a better way. Okay, let me explain this in a better way. This high is lower than this high. 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 Right? So what makes this a downtrend? Okay, it is a series of lower highs and lower lows. So let's look at the downside. Look, this low is lower than this low. This low is lower than this low. This low is lower than this one. This low is lower than this one. Bort, what's good? We live, man. I told you Saturday mornings, bro. Saturday morning. Okay. The trolls is out today too. That's one thing about Saturday mornings, man. The trolls be out on their burner accounts. They be out on their burner accounts. So when someone asks me, you know what I'm saying, like, how do I know it's in a downtrend? No, for real, bro. When someone asks me, how do I know that something's in the downtrend? Okay, it's because it's creating a series of lower highs and lower lows. Okay, so this is why it's in a downtrend. What is a downtrend? If someone asks you, what is a downtrend? Lower highs, lower lows. What am I doing in a downtrend? I am looking to sell it. So in a better way to explain this, every time they tried to buy it up, it got sold lower. Every time it got bought up, it sold lower. Every time it got bought up, it sold lower. It got bought up, it sold lower. Very simple stuff right here, okay? So do we all understand a downtrend? Drop a 1 in the chat if we understand downtrends now. This is market structure. This, again, market structure is just a fancy overall word of saying which direction is the overall market going in. Where do I get this from? I go to the daily time frame. Okay, I go to the daily time frame. All right, let's look at something that's in an uptrend. What's in an uptrend, y'all? Do we want to look at this? Maybe we can still look at the same ticker. Okay, yeah, we can look at it like this. We'll look at Palantir. Gold is definitely in an uptrend. Gold is definitely in an uptrend. All right, so let's look at this right here. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna drag this to here. The lightning right now is crazy. And I'll take this and I'll grab this and I'll do it like that, okay? So we learned what a downtrend is. Now we need to see something that's in an uptrend. So who can guess what an uptrend is? If you know that a downtrend is lower highs and lower lows, then what is an uptrend? If you know that a downtrend is lower highs and lower lows, then who can take a guess at what an uptrend is? Right? Exactly. Higher highs and higher lows. So look, this high is higher than this high. This high is higher than all the previous highs. These highs up here are higher than these ones. Let's look at these. This high is higher than this high. This high is higher than this high. This high is higher than this high. Okay? Great job to all the people who said that. Okay? So, when it comes to trading, you have to understand the overall trend, because if you're trading against the trend, you will have a lower chance of winning your trades. So some people just want to trade just to trade, as opposed to trading using a system. You have to know these things. If you're not considering these things when you are trading, okay, let me say this again. If you are not considering these things when you are trading, you are donating money to the market. You are donating your hard-earned money to the market. You already trading majority of your time to a 9 to 5. You're spending more time away from your family than you want to. You are spending energy, time, sitting in traffic, doing all the things that you don't want to do, right? You're already doing these things. So you might as well, you have no other choice, really, if we're going to be honest. You have no other choice but to learn something that can allow you to get away from that, if that is your goal. I'm not dissing 9 to 5s or anything, but at least make money on the side of it. Don't let that be your main source, because guess what? One is too close to zero. One is way too close to none. I have an AI agent that I set up for me, and like, people who are doing just normal tasks, if you don't learn a skill set, you will be left behind. I'm not saying this as one of those YouTube people or nothing. I'm talking about an AI agent. I have a bot that works separately on another monitor that does work for me 24/7. The same work that I pay an email team for, the same work that I pay support team members for. And people might look at me and be like, well, why would you fire people? You got to understand, when you run a business, you care about people, obviously, right? But you care about the business. The business has to thrive. And if you can make more money, right, from your business, guess what? Most businesses' biggest expense is human capital. How many of you already knew that? One thing about my streams is you're going to learn something new every time you come in. Now y'all asking me what AI agent I use. No, I got to gatekeep. I'm gatekeeping. Nah, I'm just kidding. I use OpenClaw. I use OpenClaw. I have a video on my page talking about it. It's insane. It's insane, right? It's OpenClaw. So I would never gatekeep from y'all. Trust me. I'm literally giving everything away to you right now for free. So why would I gatekeep that? Right? But I am saying this all to say, okay, you have to learn a skill set. And the best thing about trading is that no matter what, no matter what's going on with your 9 to 5, if you learn this if you learn this skill, you'll be able to do what you want when you want. I'm not saying it's going to happen when you want it to. I'm just saying that it's going to get to that point. But when you look at a business, right, because I look at a lot of balance sheets, so I'm a long-term investor first. I'm going to say this again. I am a long-term investor first. Okay? So what does that mean? Hold on, let me get this guy out of here real quick. Bam, see you later. I'll be blocking all the bots. Keep them coming. I'm kicking them out left and right, left and right, left and right, right? So for me personally, I look at a lot of companies' balance sheets, right? I look at how much money a company is making, how much money a company is losing, their assets, what debt they have, just pretty much everything, right? I look at all these things when I'm investing into a company because obviously long-term investing is important. I have to understand what I'm putting my money into, right? And when you look at a lot of these things, right, you'll start realizing patterns. A lot of these companies, right? Let's take Amazon, for example. A lot of their expenses, right? A lot of their expenses come from human capital, from humans. What do you mean by human capital? They are paying humans to do certain tasks. If you work in a factory, you can be outsourced. You can be delegated. I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way. I'm saying this in a way where you need to be aware. Hiding from the problem doesn't avoid the problem. A bar. I'm going to say that again. Hiding from the problem does not avoid it. Doesn't mean it's just going to magically go away. It's not the case. That's like, come on. If your car is broken, you keep driving on a car that's broke, it's going to present a better problem or a worse problem than it is, right? Than what it currently is, right? So you not actively trying to, let's think about it like this. You avoiding the situation is actually making it worse for you. The more you avoid it, it's like not wanting to look at how much credit card debt you have. The more you avoid it, the more it's going to escalate, the bigger of a problem it's going to be. And what I have learned is very successful people, they run after and look at these things quicker than other people. They just don't avoid the thing that they know can move the needle forward. They don't avoid those things. They do those things first. No matter how much it may affect their emotions, no matter how much it may make them feel a certain type of way or they're going to have a bad day about it, no one cares about your feelings. Right? I'm just being honest with you. I'm not saying this in a way where I don't care about you. I'm saying this in a way because I do care about you. If you don't learn a new skill set, if you don't learn how to build on the things that you already know, you will get left behind. Because if you're working in Amazon right now, I have firsthand seen China. They just did a video of robots dancing. A friend of mine has a company. He just went public, right? His company, you can control robots. Right? There's like these things that are hooked up to your hands and your face. You can control robots from anywhere in the world to do tasks, to lift heavy things, to do packaging, right? A lot of the packaging stuff, you don't even need a robot that can move. You just need an assembly line. All right, the box gets opened by this, right? So it opens the box, boom. It opens the box, boom. Next thing, places the object, boom. Next thing, puts the tape over the box, boom. Next thing, puts the label. Next thing, moves it on. So again, I'm not saying these things in a way where I want you to feel any type of way. I'm just helping those of you who are trying to avoid a consistent problem that's going to keep being a problem. It's only going to get worse. I'm just helping you realize that you can't keep avoiding it anymore. You avoiding the things that you know you need to do is why you're still where you are right now. Here's the ironic part about life. You can't be who you are right now and who you want to be at the same time. You cannot be who you want to be and who you are right now. This is a conflict. It is a direct conflict. You cannot be both these people at the same time. Unfortunately. Something has to give. This is the shit that people don't want to hear though. People will leave this live because I'm telling them something that they know they need to hear, but they want to keep avoiding it. You're going to keep avoiding it and it's going to become a bigger issue in your life. You cannot be who you are right now and who you want to be at the same time. It is a direct conflict. The person that you want to be is not making the excuses that you're currently making. The person that you want to be is not doing the same things that you're currently doing. How do we know this? Because that person is living a life that you are currently not living. So guess what? In order to become this person, in order to get to where you want to get to in life, you have to be willing to sacrifice all the things that you have been doing. You have to be willing to sacrifice money. You have to be willing to sacrifice time. You have to be willing to sacrifice friendships. You have to be willing to sacrifice love sometimes. You have to be willing to sacrifice energy. You have to be willing to do all the things that you don't want to do. When you least feel like doing it, you have to go do all of those things. When you least feel like doing it, when you know you're too tired. And someone's saying I'm getting off topic. I'm on topic. Trust me. Because guess what? You're not gonna be who you want to be in trading until you get this other shit aligned in your life. There's a conflict. You're not gonna magically show up to trading and start making money when you got all these internal issues going on. When you have no real financial sense. When you have a bad relationship with money, you think you're gonna start coming into trading and dealing with money, and you don't even know how to label an emotion that you have. You can't control the emotions that you currently have. You think you're going to come into trading where money is already making you emotional right now in your personal life. Guess what? How do I know this? Because you're stressed about money right now. So you think you're going to come into trading when you're already stressed about money. You're going to come into trading, use money to try to make more money. You're going to lose. And your emotions, because you don't have them in control, you don't have them in check, you don't know how to label them, you don't know how to actively look at the things that you're going through in life. Because you don't know these things, you think you're going to come in and start making money? Going against the best people in the world? They looking at you saying, this is my competition? You're donating money. But I don't think y'all hear me though. Maybe I'm just, like he said, I'm off topic. I'm talking about things that don't really matter, huh? Mind you, everything that I'm saying right now is things that I've been through. And you only get to where you want to be by doing the things you don't want to do. By listening to the things that you don't want to listen to. By learning during the times that you don't want to learn. But what do I know? What do I know? He said these Forex people still around. I was rich way before Forex, bro. Go do some fact checking. But let me stay humble because God has put me in this position. But let's not get it twisted though. Let's not do that. What are we talking about? All right, so we understand market structure now. We understand market structure. So let's go ahead and move on to consolidation. I'm gonna zoom in here. Okay? So the next part of market structure, let me see something real quick. Let's see, we're gonna use a horizontal line right here. Bam. And we're gonna do this, bam. All right. All right, can everybody see this? Drop a 1 in the chat if you guys can see this. I know y'all. There's so many trolls in the chat right now. Like, this is, mind you, this is the biggest stream I've ever had. So the trolls are, like, normally I have trolls here and there. Right now it's astronomical. And I think sometimes people, like, people want to do stuff like this that I do, like stream and stuff like that. But I've been doing this for 5 years now, 6 years. This whole content and this whole social media stuff. And, you're going to always have trolls. Sometimes I like to just clap back just to maybe make them feel a little way. Maybe that can make them leave out before I like block them or something. But it comes with the territory. My mom told me this a long time ago. When I start going viral and my business start doing really, really well, my mom told me, like, look, you're destined for more. And you're going to have to deal with things that you don't want to deal with. And you're going to have to hear things from people that aren't true. But you have to learn why you're doing what you're doing. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I have children. I have daughters. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when it comes to me learning this craft and actually getting better at this craft, the thing you have to understand is, like, there's a bigger reason as to why I'm doing what I'm doing. I have 2 girls. I have 2 daughters. They're so soft. They're so pure, right? And I have to go out and make the sacrifices for them so they don't have to live that life. And I'm pretty sure, how many of you would agree with me? If you have children in here, you probably are looking at your child right now, because I know it's Saturday morning. And real quick, shout out to all the single moms in the building, right? I'm not promoting single moms is great, but shout out to all the single moms, because I grew up in a single mom household. So that's why I'm giving praise to it, because y'all are loved and y'all are amazing. And I truly appreciate y'all, and your kids appreciate you. And shout out to the single dads, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the dads that are there. And shout out to the 2-parent households, the ones that are really trying to move the needle for it and taking care of their children. And if you don't take care of your children, you might as well leave them alive. I don't respect nobody who don't take care of their kids. I don't respect anyone who's not willing to make sacrifices for their kids. I'm willing to die about mine. Over and over and over, no question. I'm willing to go broke. I'm willing to spend it all on mine. But what does that also mean though? If I'm willing to do all those things, I'm willing to learn for them too. I'm willing to spend money to learn for them. I'm willing to go make sacrifices so they don't have to. I'm willing to go fail 1,000 times and 1,000 times over again so they don't have to. I'm willing to do that. Not everybody's willing to do that. It is what it is. And if you don't have kids, do it for your last name, because you're not here by luck. You're here because somebody else before you sacrificed everything to get you where you are. So don't be the individual who's not actively pushing to do more when there are other people who sacrificed and who prayed to be where you are right now, who wish they could have been where you are right now. Don't go out there and move the needle down. Move it forward. Have some respect on your last name if you don't have kids. But if you do, they're your legacy. So let's talk about the third layer of market structure, which is consolidation. Consolidation is just a fancy word for choppiness. It's when price is just in a range, right? So it's just stuck in between this. You do not want to trade during this. So obviously in an uptrend, you want to be looking for buys. During a downtrend, you want to be selling the market. So if you didn't know this, when you are trading, you can make money on both ends of the market, whether it's going up or whether it's going down, okay? Whether the market's going up, whether the market's going down, you can learn how to do it, okay? You can learn how to trade it. Now, inside of this, you do not want to trade this. You do not want to trade this. Like this choppiness range, you got to learn that there is something called trading environments. Trading environments. What do I mean by trading environments? A trading environment basically means ideal situations that you want to take trades in. How many of you have heard of someone say, take high probability trades? Drop a 1 in the chat if you've heard somebody say that. Like only trade high probability trades. Drop a 1 in the chat if you've heard that before. If you've never heard of that, if you've never heard nobody say that, drop a 2 in the chat. Right? People say this all the time, but what it really means is you got to be able to define what a high probability trade is. You only want to trade during times where the market is presenting opportunities. The reason that a lot of people in here may be losing in their trades is because the market has not presented you with an opportunity to trade. And that can sometimes hinder you, right? Because you just want to be in a trade just to be in the trade. Like I don't do that. This whole week, this entire last week only took 1 trade because the market did not fit the conditions that I'd like to trade in. So I'm not going to take a trade. I think people get into trading and they think trading is so fun and amazing. You're going to make money. A lot of days you're going to have to sit on your hands. Yeah, there's no opportunity. Like my setup is not showing up. Let me close my computer. Let me go touch earth. Let me go touch grass. Let me go spend time with my kids. Let me go work on something that can allow me to grow. Let me go learn some more stuff. But you have to understand that there are trading environments when the market is in a condition, like in a choppiness state, right? When it's in this type of state or in this particular stock, you want to go look elsewhere in the market. What other part in the market has a trend that I can trade? And then you just go look at different tickers. So this is why for me personally, like I keep a very small watch list, but you do need a watch list because if your favorite ticker that you trade is not presenting you with any other opportunities, there's a chance that one of the other ones might. But I do recommend always keeping your watch list small in the beginning. So if you are newer, how many of you want to learn how to just make like maybe $300 a week, right? Like this is, for me, this is my goal for a lot of my members, which is, again, I tell y'all this all the time. Some people might be in here and be like, that's not a lot of money though. Again, I'm not here to show you how to make a lot of money right now. That's not it. I think that $250 to $300 a week is a great place because guess what? That's only $60 a day, $60 to $80 a day. Now, some people might be like, bro, that's still not enough. Again, go learn from somebody who can teach you make money fast schemes. That's not me. I can show you how to compound. I can show you how to take a $2,500 account. I can show you how to make between $80 to $100 a day. You're going to have losses as well. But overall, I can show you how to be consistent, and I can show you how to get to the point where you can compound your account. How you can actually look at the end of the month, at the end of the year, and actually see a green account. Wouldn't that feel nice? Right? Like, wouldn't that be nice? Even if it was only $200 a week. Right? Even if it's only $200 a week, that's what, $40 a day that you're making in trading? And it's realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are trying to tell y'all all these thousands and thousands of dollars stuff. I don't teach that. That's not me. Okay? Like, if you want to learn that, you can click off my live, you can go follow that person, and you can go learn from them. And we can see how long that lasts. But what I can do is I can show you how to take, you know what? Let me actually just show you, because I think it's better for you to learn from a person who has taught other people similar to you how to do the things that you want to do for yourself, right? Because again, proof is everything, facts is everything. So what I'll do is I'll just show you. Inside of here, we have a portfolio growth channel, right? This is inside of my Discord, okay? It does not matter your skin color. It doesn't matter where you work. It doesn't matter how many kids you have. It doesn't matter what you believe in religiously. None of that matters. None of that matters. You are okay to show up exactly how you are, and you can still do these things. So this is Kelly. She said, I started out with $3,200 back in October, was doing great. I grew my portfolio to $6,300 and overnight lost $2,500. So again, you're going to have losses. And again, I'm not selling you my group. My group is closed. I don't want your money to come into my group. I'm good, right? Just learn from the information. But I want to show you that if you're going to learn from somebody, make sure that they have proof to show you. Again, I'm going to say that. Make sure you have proof from the person that they've done the things that they said and are doing the things for other people that you want to do for yourself. Again, if you're going to learn, there's nothing wrong with paying for mentorships and courses and groups and all that stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. On the contrary to what most people may think, if there's proof, why would you not pay to get the information sooner? But you would rather pay in time, the one thing that you don't have more of, the one thing that you're already trading for, something that is being cooked. The dollar is being destroyed every single day. So you're in a net negative situation where you're trading your time for money, but the money is getting worse. The money is being devalued because they're printing it every single day over and over and over again. But what do I know, right? So she lost $2,500 overnight. The bottom dropped right out at open. So she's talking about the market. My fault, I sized up because I had been doing so well. I took swings and lost. I took a break, like 3 weeks off. I studied, came back and got on a hamster wheel of win, then lose. Cannot get it together. Finally, 2026 hit, did the Daniel fast with the group, prayed, journaled, and put God first every single day. Reading the word and praising and just being super thankful for this journey. I write this because my port is back. It's almost at $10,000. Made over $2,000 in the last 2 weeks. I'm super thankful to Dantes and all of the TSA for a space to learn and grow. Here's the proof. $9,800 on the account. Here's the P&L for the month. So again, I'm not here to show you how to make thousands and thousands of dollars, right? Like that's not who I am. Can y'all hear me? They're saying my audio is out. Y'all can hear me, right? Drop a 1 in the chat if y'all can still hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat. Okay. Y'all can hear me. Okay, cool. Right? And just look, like a lot of this stuff, like again, like this is the type of stuff that I can show you how to do, right? I can show you another example. Look, low-key been on a win streak, right? I'm not here to show you how to make thousands of dollars a day. I'm here to just show you how do I make $40 to $50 a day. Tez, can you show me that? Well, what can an extra $200 a week do for you? This is why most of the people in our group is people who work 9 to 5. Right? This is why everyone that I want to work with are people who are in 9 to 5 because they have a real commitment. They have a responsibility. And then if you have children, that's an even bigger reason why I want to work with you, because guess what? It's going to help them. So I know who my demographic is. I know who I want to talk to. If you don't have those things, I just know based off of data that you are less serious. You are less serious. And that's nothing against you. But people who are so skeptical, who always looking at how do I get something for free, I just know you never really get that far in life until you change how you think. So it's like, you know, if I can show you how to make, you know, what does it cost? What would you pay to learn how to make $700 in a week? You know, this week right here, she made, what is this? She made close to $600. The following week, she lost 23 bucks. Tuesday, she made 126. Wednesday, she made $300. Thursday, she made $150. Friday, she made $226. Mind you, she works a 9 to 5. Today, she made $257, right? I can keep going up. Look, up $1,200 on one position, right? So again, these are things, look, I can go to the Trading Profits channel. Look, $1,000 in a single day. 270% on one single trade. We show our L's too. You might lose a couple $100 when you're growing. But look, I can show you how to do stuff like this where you can make $400 in a day. This is 10% of his account. Now, again, my group is closed, but I'm just saying that this is the stuff that you can learn how to do. But you have to focus on compounding. Type that word down below, compound. Compound. Stop trying to make a bunch of money now. Worry about learning the skill, getting enough reps so you can grow the account efficiently. That is why you cannot grow your account. If you are trading already and you feel like your account is not growing, it's because you are chasing massive wins. Stop. If you have a $1,000 account, you should be working on making $30 a day. Well, you're looking at me and you're saying $30 a day is not going to take me away from my 9 to 5. No, it's not right now. But when your account gets to the point where it grows and you can trade with more capital, it will. But for right now, if you cannot grow a small account, there is no way on God's green earth are you going to grow a bigger account. I know this because I have tried it myself. I've seen other people do it. I am not here to sell you on an ideal. I am just telling you that if you work a 9 to 5, you can do these things as well. I can show you how to hit 3 to 10% on your account per week. This is somebody hitting 20% on their account in a day. Right? This is somebody making $199 from one trade, 473% on one trade, 300% on one trade. Sometimes you might make $10. Some days you might make $1,500. Then some days you might make $333. Some days you might make $1,600. These are real people with real 9 to 5s who have children who are doing this on an everyday basis, right? On the side of their jobs, 27% on the account. So if you have a $1,000 account, you make $270. You have a $10,000 account, you make $2,700. 15% on the account, done for the day. Look, she made $89. Right? So again, I'm not here to show you how to make thousands of dollars. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to show you what's possible. Some days you might make $125. Some days you might make 30% on your account. Some days you might make $400. Like, I could go on and on and on and on. And these are real people in real time who have real lives, who have children, who have families that are relying on them, that are able to learn this craft on the side of everything that they're doing. And again, guess what? You don't need a fancy computer. You don't need thousands of dollars to start. You don't need to be crazy tech savvy. We'll literally teach you everything. So this is all day trading, yes. And we do teach long-term investing as well. Yes, this is all options. Why is your Discord closed? Because I only want to work with a certain quality person. So I don't keep it open just for anyone to join, because I know that a lot of people aren't serious. I don't want to. I have a great community. I have a phenomenal community because it's open and closed enrollment. When's the next time I'm opening? Next month. You can catch it next month. If you come to my streams, you know this pretty often now. Like, I only do open and closed enrollment. I only do open and closed enrollment, but it won't open until next month. So this is why you can just hit the follow button, and then when I do open it next month, you may catch the post or you may not. Usually it sells out within the first hour. Well, at least last time it sold out in the first hour. And then I'll close it again for another month. I'll work with those individuals, because here's the thing. I want to make sure that you're getting quality. I don't ever want to be that person who's has a group and people I don't want people to have bad experiences with anything that my name is attached to. Like, my name is my everything. The one thing that you have when you leave is your name. And it's like, I don't ever want someone to pay me money and they don't get quality. I don't want anyone's money if I know I'm not giving them the best or my all. And that's why I only do open and close enrollment. Because when a person comes in, I want them to feel valued. I want them to feel seen. I want them to feel heard. I want them to understand that they're going to learn this craft and they don't have to worry about learning from YouTube no more. Because here's the thing, it's going to cost you to keep learning from YouTube. It's costing you time. It's costing you energy. How many times are you going to learn a different strategy? How many times are you going to bounce from this person to this person to this person's strategy? How many times are you going to keep losing in trading or thinking about trading? How much money is it costing you to not do this? If you could have just learned the skill set, if you could have just learned how to do it the right way, how much money is it costing you to not do it? Most people talk about, what is it costing me to learn? Yes, people are going to sell you information, but you should want to buy it because it's going to change your personality. You're going to show up differently. It's the same reason why you're still not having success with YouTube. If you were having success with YouTube, right, you wouldn't even be here right now. If you were going through and learning the information from YouTube or learning all this free information that you're hearing and seeing, you would already be successful. You're not, because you're not as devoted to it. When you pay for something, You show up differently. You learn differently. You act differently. That's the difference between getting free information and paying for stuff. This is why I pay when I get the chance. When I see somebody is telling me, yo, I could pay for a mentorship, I could pay for a course, I could pay for a group, I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to move with speed, because the most successful people in life, they don't hesitate when an opportunity presents itself. Because what is it costing you to not take advantage of the opportunity? It's costing you still being where you are right now. And if you don't like being where you are right now, you have to be willing to do things now that you don't normally want to do. Like Ryan said, everything you need to trade online is free already. Yes, but Ryan, if you were already successful, would you be here right now? That's my question. If YouTube is just the perfect place, and again, mind you, I learned a lot from YouTube. I'm not dissing it. I'm just saying, why aren't you already successful then? If everything's already online for free, why aren't you already where you want to be? Why aren't you driving the car that you want to drive? Why haven't you quit your 9 to 5? Why haven't you stepped away doing the things that you want to do? Who says I'm not successful? I'm not saying you're not. But if you were, you wouldn't be in here telling me and other people about this when they already know, you know? Right? So it's like, you know, the biggest thing is like, are you going to keep getting in your own way? Like, how many of you are going to keep being in a negative situation where you're trading time for money, right? You're trading time for money. You're trading your energy for money, and the money is getting worse, and you still haven't gotten to where you want to get to. And this is coming from a loving place as well. Mind you, this is coming from a pure and honest place in my heart. The only way you're going to get to where you want to get to is by getting the information. I've probably blocked like maybe 8 or 9 people. No, probably like 20 people so far. So how many of you feel like this live has been pretty helpful for you? How many of you feel like you've learned a good amount of information from this? How many of you feel like, you know what I'm saying, drop a 1 in the chat. You know what I'm saying, if this has been pretty helpful for you, if you've learned something, if it's been pretty cool, you know, if you have and you really like this and you haven't hit the follow button, definitely make sure you hit the follow button. But how many of you feel like, you know, you learned something from this stream? You know what I'm saying? Like, you may now want to learn a little bit more from me. Right? You may now want to learn a little bit more from me now. Perfect. So everything that I trade a system called CKSR, right? This is my entire system. So if you like the way that I just broke down everything, if you're a beginner or you're intermediate and you're just having more losses than wins, and you want to learn how to make, hey, you know, $200 to $300 a week on the side of your 9 to 5. It's not a guarantee, but I can show you how to get to that point. If you want to go down that route and you do want to learn from me, then there's definitely an opportunity for you. I do have a group called TSA. It is currently closed. It is a premium level group, so we're not just accepting anybody. However, what I do have is a system that you can learn so you can do this on your own. One of the biggest things is I don't want you to rely on any Discord or any type of signals, okay? Which is why in my community, we teach the skill. We don't just send signals, okay? I truly believe that if you give someone the ability to feed you, you're also going to give them the right to starve you. So with that being said, I want to help you fend for yourself and feed you and yours. So with this being said, I have a curriculum that you can take. It's called the CKSR 4-step trading approval system. There's only 4 steps that you need to be able to actively know whether or not you should take a trade, okay? There are 4 steps that you need to take before you know when to take a trade. And within this curriculum that you're going to get access to, all 4 steps is broken down to you step by step, whether you're a beginner, right? Okay? Whether you're a beginner or you're an individual who's already been losing money. Okay? So with this being said, you guys can learn directly from me. How many of you would love to learn from me? Or you can keep going down the route that you've been doing, right? Like if YouTube is working for you, by all means, keep going. You know what I mean? I got a YouTube channel too, right? So you might want to check that out. However, how many of you feel like you want to get to where you want to get to a little bit sooner? Like you're tired of staying the same. You're tired of making the same mistakes. You keep talking about you want to get into trading, you want to do it the right way. But I want to just learn from somebody who's actually doing it the right way, who has proof, which I've just showed you pretty much this entire live. I want to learn from somebody who resonates with me. I want to learn from somebody who actually is knowledgeable on the craft. How many of you feel like that? Drop a 1 in the chat if that's you. Now again, you can always learn for free. I'm not saying you can't. But for the individuals who want to take it more seriously, the people who are saying that I actually want to move the needle forward, I want to grow my account, I want to get into something where I can actually make more money than I invested into it originally, I can show you how to do that. How do I know that? Because I have proof to show it. I don't know what more will make you move than proof, but this is only for people who have a true why. If you have a real reason of why you want to do what you're doing, then this is an opportunity for you. So I have something called the 4-step trading approval system. It is a 6-hour long curriculum. It'll break down various amounts of things. I can actually pull it up here real quick and actually show you guys what it looks like. And it also comes with an AI bot that you guys can have access to as well. So I'm gonna move this over here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in. We're gonna do this like this, okay? So the link is now in my bio for this, okay? The link is now in my bio. Let me actually go ahead and do this. All right, can everyone see this? Drop a 1 in the chat real quick if you guys can see this. Drop a 1 in the chat. All right. So this is a full 4-step trading system, okay? If you are currently trading and you don't understand what you're doing or why you're doing what you're doing, okay? Then this is something that will walk you through pretty much everything top to bottom. You can be a complete beginner. You can be someone who's intermediate. You could be coming from a different strategy. It does not matter. We will tell you everything and show you everything step by step through all of our video modules. So it's about 7 hours long, but this is gonna teach you a system that will allow you to actually show up, trade, and actually know what you're doing, okay? So with this being said, right now, this is in my bio right now for $97. This is open and closed enrollment as well, right? This is open and closed enrollment as well. So with this being said, this will leave my bio. Once I'm done walking you through this, it'll leave my bio within 5 minutes, right? So you're gonna have this up in my bio right now for 5 minutes. And essentially what this will walk you through, let's actually scroll down. So there is a check my trade AI bot. So this is, yes, it is a one-time payment. So it's 97 bucks one time. You can also add the Check My Trade AI assistant. So this is an AI assistant that is trained on the entire system that you're about to learn. This is basically like having me in your back pocket. It's essentially a bot that is learning how you actually trade and what things you should be looking out for. So it's going to be able to reduce your hesitation, show you valid setups, and accelerate your overall learning curve as well. Okay, so this teaches the strat, it teaches my indicators, walks you through pretty much everything on my indicators or on Tradingview. If you don't have an account already, you know what I'm saying, it walks you through that as well. Now, this is, again, like I said, a one-time payment. This is an add-on. You can click this and you can grab it if you want it, okay? Now, again, like I said, this is only going to be up for 5 minutes. Now, let's talk about some of the things that it goes through, okay? It goes through a various amount of things. So number one, the catalyst. So you're going to learn how to identify the reason a stock is actually moving, not just jumping into something just to jump into something, okay? So earnings, news, economic data, or momentum drivers, right? We're gonna show you how to take trades that actually make sense to trade. So when you're at your 9 to 5, you actually know what things you should be watching on the side of your 9 to 5, okay? If you felt like other things that you've taken in the past were overwhelming, okay? The really cool thing about this is that everything is broken down the same way that you've been learning throughout this entire stream. Next up is gonna be key levels. So how do I mark off my charts? What indicators do I currently use? How do I use them? Where do you find entries using these indicators? How do you trade without indicators? We break all of these things down as well. Like I said, I do trade the strat, which are the numbers on my candlestick. So if you don't know anything about the strat, we will teach you the strat and all of the principles of the strat and how to switch through different time frames, how to use certain things to help you get to the next level. And then risk management. How do you actually apply all of this, okay? How do you actually apply all of this, and how do we have proper risk? And it doesn't matter the size account that you have. So you can have a $500 account, you can have a $1,000 account, you can have a $250 account. It does not matter, right? You know what I'm saying? So we teach you all of this. Some people pay for convenience. Get off this man live hating facts. Like, again, this is for people who want convenience. You can go out there on YouTube and you can keep searching for all the unorganized information, or you can get everything digestible in a way where you understand it, delivered straight to you instantly. And I appreciate that, Bria, because I think some individuals in here, you know what I'm saying? This is not for people who have small minds, you know what I'm saying? Or don't like taking risks, who don't want to learn. And again, guess what? The best thing about this is that if you feel like this is not worth the money that you paid, no, it's all 97 bucks one time. If you feel like this is not worth it, then I'll just give you a refund. You know what I'm saying? I'll just give you a refund. Like, the biggest thing for me is quality. So again, this is only for a certain type of person in here. Majority of other people in here are not gonna want to pay for information. I want to do that, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? So it forces you how to be disciplined. When you guys are learning this system, it forces you to be disciplined. It removes emotional decision making. It eliminates strategy overload. and it allows you to work whether you have one trade or 10 or one contract or 10 contracts. All right. And it's literally designed for people with limited time. So if you have a 9 to 5, you have children, if you have all of these things right now, this is literally designed specifically for you. And yes, it is a one-time payment. And then these are real life results, right? $2,200 from one trade, $123 on one trade, $364 on one trade, $313, $1,700 on the day, $1,000 from one trade, $1,400 from one trade, $1,200. These are all people who are trading the same exact strategy. Everyone's trading the same exact system. So right now, this link is now officially in my bio. In order to get to this, all you have to do is click on my face. Okay. So you're on the stream right now. Okay. This gives my strategy. This is my whole strategy. I trade CKSR. This whole strategy will be given to you. Okay. So when you're on the stream right here, all you're going to do is you're going to go click on my face at the top right corner. And then you're going to click on my face right here. Okay. When you get there, okay, you're going to get to the page. You're going to get to my profile. Okay. When you get to my profile, you're going to click my link tree. There's a link in my bio. And all you're going to do is you're going to click the very first link. Okay. Learn CKSR 4-step trading approval system. Right? Yes, you can add the bot on. I do recommend it if you want to increase your learning curve and you want to have something there as an AI assistant while you're trading. I highly recommend it. It is trained on the CKSR system itself, so you will learn everything as well. Okay. Does any backend support come with it? So the really cool thing is we do have a support team. So if you do need additional help, then we will show you how to get, show you the things that you need help with. However, this is why I do have the AI assistant. Anytime you do need help, that is going to be your direct assistant. That is going to be your customer support at any given time. You can download it onto your phone. You'll be able to ask it questions at any time. You can send it screenshots of charts. It's really there just for like confidence. So like if you don't know whether or not you should take a trade, or if you don't know how to mark your chart, it's trained on our entire system. So it'll give you the guidance that you need to be able to understand, all right, this is what I need to do. This is what I don't need to do. Okay. Now, when you click the first link in my bio, it'll take you over to the website. And like I said, I do recommend getting the AI bot if you do want to save yourself some time and energy. So yeah, is there a fee for human support? There isn't a fee, but you're not going to get as many questions answered. So it's like, if you want all of your questions answered and you want to be confident, you want to know what you're actually doing, then I would recommend getting the AI bot. Yes, the AI bot works for Forex, futures, and options as well. Is this always 97 or is this a special? This is a special. So normally this thing right here is 297 bucks. Right now for this stream, it's 97 bucks. And the really cool thing, guys, let's say you don't have $97 down here. When you get to the website, there is Sezzle, Afterpay, Cash App, Crypto, and Klarna. So you can pay $25 a month if you want, or you can get it for $7 a month, whatever option it presents you with. But some of you might not have to put anything down to actually get access to this. So you can get it literally for free. If you use Klarna, a lot of times you won't have to put anything down. You could just pay $8 a month or something like that if you wanted to do it that way. Okay. Now, this is only going to be in my bio for the next 5 minutes. How do I get the bot? The bot is in my bio right now, guys. The bot is in the bio on the same page. So there's a timer now set for 5 minutes. Okay. There's a timer now set for 5 minutes. So does this pack include what trading system to use? Yes, CKSR is the trading system. So it's a 4-step trading approval system. Before you take any trade, you have to understand why you're getting into the trade. Okay. And what makes this a good trade to actually take. This will show you exactly how to do that, how to find your own trades, how to take the trades, where your entries, where your exits, and how to actually be confident with it overall. Will it be available after your live workshop tomorrow? It will not. It will not. How long is the access? Guys, this is lifetime access. This is lifetime access. So when you get access to it, you get full lifetime access to it. You don't have to worry about additional payments and all that stuff. It's really one-time payment and you get access. Marianne, I'm not sure if this is the same thing you bought last time. I have no clue what you bought last time. Okay. So I'm going to walk you guys through it again, right? I'm going to walk you through it again. You're on the stream right now. Okay. You're going to click my face at the top corner. When you click my face, this white box, yes, this works on futures opening as well. Okay. You're going to click on the white box. Okay. When you click on my face, it's going to take you over to my profile picture on this white box. So you're going to click right here. Okay. And then what's going to happen is it's going to take you over to my profile. Okay. Once you get over to the profile, what you're going to do is you're going to click Linktree. Okay. You're going to click on Linktree. When you click on Linktree, you're going to click the very first link in that bio. Now, when you click the first link, okay, it's gonna take you over to the website here. And like I said, the AI bot, if you want it, you could just add it as an add-on, all right? You can add it as an add-on. So yes, this will get sent straight to your email. How do I know if I got it? You should check your email right now. Check your email. Check your email right now. And yes, you have, yes, then Marianne is the same. Okay. And again, guys, like I said, like there's so many people in the chat like upset about this. One of the things I want you guys to understand is like you don't have to join this. You know what I mean? Like you can always go watch YouTube. Everyone wants all this free, and this is why they're still in the position that they in. And again, this is why I don't open TSA, because people always have a problem with it. You know what I mean? Like if you don't want to pay for information, don't pay for information. You know what I'm saying? All I know is that there's people who are looking for convenience. All I know is there's people out there who want to get there sooner. This is for those people. Can you go to college? Sure, right? Will it get you there faster? Probably. Can you not go to college? Sure. Will it get you there faster? Possibly. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just depends on the individual. How confident I actually use the bot myself. So that will prove to you how confident I am with it. That will prove to you I use it myself. Now, is it something I'll solely rely on to take my trades? No, it's there only to confirm what you're going through as far as your trades, and also get another opinion on your trades. Can I use it with my platform? Yeah. What other questions you guys have? There's 1 minute and 19 seconds left. This link will leave the bio in 1 minute and 15 seconds. Where the video is hosted. They're hosted on WAP. So once you buy it, you'll get an email, and then you'll get a notification to download the WAP app, which is WHOP. You download that and you'll get instant access. You just gotta log in. How much did you lose before you became profitable? 23,000 on the dot. That's when I was like, all right, let me lock the fuck in. Now, mind you, I paid for information prior to as well. Any books you recommend reading? Trading in the Zone and The Disciplined Trader. Those are the two that I would highly recommend starting out. Yes, you can trade using your cell phone using this as well. Everything that I talked about, it will walk you through trading on your cell phone and using a computer. It will teach you both of these step by step. I literally walk you through entries. I walk you through trade examples. I walk you through it all. If you're already losing money in trading, you should ask yourself, what is it costing you to not have this level of information? You know what I mean? Like, people are in the chat complaining about $97. Like, we got to ask ourselves, what are we already spending $97 on? You can spend $97 going out to eat with a girl that still don't like you. It probably won't like you, right? You can keep spending $97 on brand new Air Force Ones where you already got 4 of them in your closet that keep going bad after the second time that you wore them, right? You're trading your time for money to talk to people who don't like you, right? Or people that you don't like, even worse. Imagine that. You're making these long commutes, right? You're making these long commutes to go work for people who don't even appreciate you. And then you're spending gas to get there, to go talk to people, to go deal with people that you don't like. But then when there's an opportunity in front of you to learn how to do this the right way, you're hesitating. Am I the one that's distracted? Like, I don't know. Maybe I might be off. Just join. How does it work? When you join, when you get access to it, it gets sent straight over to your email. It's a 5-hour curriculum that will walk you through everything as far as taking your own trades by yourself. The strategy that I use, which is called CKSR, stands for Catalyst, Key Levels, the Strat, and Risk Management. And again, like I can, you know what? Let's do this, right? Let me just show you the people who actively do it, because obviously people are going to always have a problem with paying for information. So let me just show you, when you pay for information, let me just show you what actually happens in real time, right? When you learn this skill, you'll be able to do all of these things on your own. Mind you, these are not people who are paying for signals. These are people who learned the craft, learned the system, and are doing it on their own. So Chase made $200 in realized profit. So you're complaining about $97, mind you, right? And then the add-on AI bot, right, which is $150 if you combine them together. You're complaining about $150 when you can make $200 from one trade, right? You're complaining about $150 when you can make $740 from one trade. Forgetting about this, $219 on one trade. Let's look here. Mind you, look how much they're leveraging to take the trade. $126. You can trade with $126, make $159 in profit, and then that pays for the whole thing itself. So to hesitate and look at something like this and then not think that the opportunity itself can make you more, that's a confidence issue. If you're looking at this and you're saying, I don't really know, it's a confidence issue. You don't know or believe that you can actually do it on your own. So let me just show you all the people who did take the risk. Let me show you all the people who are already using the same exact system that you're getting access to right now. Let me just show you what it looks like to have access to it, right? $159 on here. Let's keep scrolling. Let's keep it going. Eddie, shout out to my dog Eddie, $184 on here, right? 4% on the account right here. 9% on the account right here. Again, guys, there is Klarna on there, so you can pay literally nothing today if you use Klarna or Afterpay. Coming for that 1K day, $855. You can't even see that. $855 in a day. Why would I hesitate to spend $100 when I can learn how to make $800 in a day? Even if you only did it one time, it pays for itself 8 times over. Let's keep going. $340 in a day. If you only made 90, like, let's be honest, do you think you could make $97 trading? Like, let's just, like, you yourself, not even using my strategy. Not even using my strategy, not even using any of that. Do you think you can make more than $100 trading? Drop a 1 in the chat if you think you can. Do you think you can make more than $100 trading? Drop a 1 in the chat if you think you can. If you think you can't make more than $100 trading, then this is definitely not going to be for you. I'm afraid to lose. Well, are you afraid to win too? If you're afraid to lose, then does that mean you're also afraid to win? If I made 20 bucks, like, it's not even about making the money back. It's about learning the skill to be able to make money. But what do I know, right? 57% here, 20% on the account, $600. Final on the day, broke my rules, took 4 trades versus 2, but I can live with that. $600 in a day. Right? But you can go to the casino. This is the craziest part, right? But you're still doing sports betting. You go on a FanDuel and you putting a parlay together for $100 trying to win $10,000. Ain't that crazy? I bet you the people in the chat right now who are complaining about it, or even like on the sidelines, you actively bet on sports, the most rigged thing you can do. You are putting together 15-leg parlays, 12-leg parlays, 6-leg parlays, losing more than $100 a week, cussing at your computer, right? Cussing out your family, and you're still not winning. Am I tripping? I don't know. Am I tripping? You didn't bet on the Browns. They're my dogs, though, you know. You keep betting on the Ravens. And then you keep talking to your friend. You're going to work. Listen to this. Isn't this crazy? You're betting on sports, losing, going to your 9 to 5 to trade your time back for the money that you just lost. Talking to a person who does not have any real intellect, honestly, let's be honest, right? Telling them about, man, so-and-so, man, this is just rigged, man. I'm going to get them next time, though. And then you're going to the club the next weekend with your next check. You're going to the club. You're spending 700% more on a bottle than it costs inside of a liquor store. So you're paying for a section, a couch, to stand around other people. And then you're paying for drinks, to talk to people who don't even hear you, who won't remember you the next day, nor do they care about you. But then when there's an opportunity to learn how to actually do a craft and a skill, and there's results in front of you on a day-to-day basis, great day in 2 hours, market open up, right? $2,300 in a day. Then I'm the one tripping. Is that making sense to y'all? I don't know. For those of you on the sidelines who haven't really said much in the chat, is that making sense to y'all? So you would rather go out on the weekend, go clock back in on Monday after spending everything that you just made the past week on things that are harming your body. Let's not forget that, right? I don't know. I'm just lost. I'm lost. I don't know. But maybe I'm tripping. But again, the choice is yours, family. The choice is yours. Now, obviously, there's a lot of free information out there. You guys can feel free to go take advantage of it. I'm going to go take the link out of my bio. I'll give you guys another 5 minutes on it. The link's in my bio until 11:30. I'm going to remove that link. So if you want to go read up more about it, go feel free to. You can go check the results on the page itself. You know what I'm saying? Or you can just look at all of the wins that we have here. Right, first $1,000 day in TSA locked in 2,400% in 1 day. Okay, 690% on this trade, 663% back-to-back days, $400 plus in profit, 374% on this trade, $1,000 here on this trade, 360% here, $400 in a trade here, $519 here. Let's keep it going though. Let's keep it going. 92 plus 71. What's that? About 150, 160. So about $200 here, $431 or $341 in a day here, 19% on the account, 16% on the account, $342 here. Again, all trading the same system. On the small account, $870 on a small account, $278 in a day, right? You worried about $97. I can show you how to make $100 from one trade or from a few trades combined. $17 in a trade. Sometimes it ain't gonna be huge wins. 25% on the account, $288 on the day, 144% here, $1,000 a day. Look at here, $509 on one trade, $550 on one trade, 16% on the account. Not a cute screenshot. Had my first win, $3,200. Total gain / loss, $3,200. Okay, let's keep going. $26 right here on this trade. $66, $83 here, 85%, 122%. Let's keep it going. Look at this, $645 from one trade, $28 here, $176 in realized profit, $151 realized profit, $260 here, $660 here, $1,100 on the day. I could go on and on and on. 4% on the account, $71 from one trade, $320 from one trade, 174% on one trade, $17 on this trade. Again, you don't need a huge account. $243 on one trade, $255 on one trade. Shall I keep going? Yes, it is a one-time purchase, guys. You only have to pay for it one time. You get full access. It's lifetime. $575 in a day, $155 in a day, $135 from one trade, $137 from one trade, $226 from one trade. Okay, let's keep going. $240 from one trade. Shall I keep going? $312 from one trade. Shall I keep going? This is options. I don't trade futures. Shall I keep going? Let's keep going. $1,000 today on one account. Again, his account started with a $2,000 account. $126, what is that? $196 in the day. Okay, $35, $32 here. So again, what is it costing you to not learn something like this, where you can do stuff like this? $35 here, 350% here. Let's keep going. $264 here. Let's click here. $38 here. I can just go on and on. Look at this. $32, $200, $500, $48. Let's keep going. $300 P&L today. $1,000 in a day here. $190 in a day here. What is it costing you to not learn how to do this? What is it costing you to not learn how to do this all this week? $205, $41, $40 here. Look at this. This is just this week. $64, $31, $141, $233, $48. Lost $1, lost 11, $100, $190. What's up, Jeff? 412% here, $665 here, $390 here, $206 here, and this is again all on the side of a 9 to 5. So the question you have to ask yourself is, what is it costing you to not learn this? So you have 2 minutes left to grab it. I'm going to show you guys one more time, and then I'm going to hop off. All right. So you're here on the stream right here. Okay. You're going to click the link. You're going to click my face at the top right corner. So you're going to click up here. Then you're going to click my face. When you click on my face, it will take you over to the CKSR system. So you're going to get to my page right here. You're going to click Linktree. Bro, I'm at 75%. Let's go, bro. You're going to click on Linktree. You're going to click the first link in my bio. Angel, check your email. Also download the WAP app. Once you get to the Linktree, you're going to click the very first link in my bio. And it will take you to the website. I do recommend getting the AI bot as well. Okay? You get access to it right here. You can use Klarna, Afterpay, pretty much all those other options. $600 in a day here. Let's keep going. $150 here, $330. Again, this is all on the side of a 9 to 5. $237 open P&L, $912 in realized profits, $231 in a day, $16, $102, $28. What is it costing you to not learn this? Yes, this system will show you how to read charts. Yes, this is a one-time fee. When you join access into the CKSR system, it is one time. Unless you do one of like the Afterpay or something like that, then you can just split the payments up and you don't have to pay 97 bucks. This is something else. If you're watching this right now and you're looking and you're saying, I might want to do this. If you use Klarna or Afterpay, you may not have to put any money down. You might be able to just get it for free today. And it's 97 bucks. Options, correct, Angel. This is options. $412 in a day. They want to see proof, so I'm gonna keep showing them proof. $130 here, $1,500 on the day on their account. $2,120 from one trade, 950% here. No, there's no additional cost other than you trading with your own capital. We show you how to start your account. Look at this. $1,900 in one day from trading, 106% on the account, $48 there, $199 on the day on their account, $1,000 in a day, 50%. $22 here. I could go on and on. $842, 68%. Mind you, I'm still in February right now. This is not something that's just so far away. $600 in realized profit. So I guess the question you have to ask yourself is, what is it costing you to not have this? How do I have the system, but how do I access the bot? Kina, did you grab it when you seen the option when you got it? When you got the bot? When you got the system? Is there live coaching in the Discord? How do you teach? My Discord is currently closed. TSA is closed. This is the CKSR system. This is the 4-step trading system you need that we trade inside of TSA. So it's literally you getting the system so you can trade it on your own, right? So you're learning how to trade the system on your own. In TSA, we just trade it with you and we teach you more in-depth things because it's obviously TSA is a higher tier. So you're getting this whole system to do it on your own. Do you have to have passed a certification? No, you do not need any type of certification. You don't need thousands of dollars. You can start with 250 bucks. No, I don't recall seeing that option. Kina, shoot me over a text or a DM. The link is in my profile, correct? He said only $600. Is that it? Let me keep going then, all right? Let's keep going. These are, mind you, these are people with 9 to 5s. So $600, I don't know about some of y'all, but $600 can help a lot of people who have a 9 to 5. $167 in a day. Let's keep going then. $410 profit here, $252 profit here, $66 profit here, $724 here. Let's keep going. 67% on the account, 131%. $686 the past week. Their account is up 11% that week. Let me see. People make $150 in a day and they say only $600. Oh, I thought you were showing your own profit. You came in hating. That boy came in hating, didn't even know what was going on. He just said, oh, dang, that's it? I made $1,800 yesterday. I don't remember asking, bro. Let's keep going. 25% here, 553% here, $160 here, $369 here, $87 here, $1,000 on the day, 181% here, $930 on the day, right? Like, I could keep going on and on and on and on. $230 in a day. Let's click here, $110 in a day. But what do I know? Somebody trying to be relevant. I know, right? He just came in. He wanted us a little bit of attention. All right, guys, I'm hopping off here. I've been on here for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'm still fasting, so I can't even drink no water right now. My throat feels like, pause. Whoa. All right, it's time for me to get off. When you guys get access to these, they will be in your email. You can just download the WAP app, and it will walk you through all of the onboarding for it as well and how to use it. Okay. It will walk you through everything. Please make sure you guys